Hi everybody, Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. I wanted to give a quick shout out to a few people that are across the pond since we're going to take time. Today's topic has made me realize I need to shout out these people. Number one, big Bronze Age horror fan and partner in crime to Alan the comic book geek on his Monday Silver Age. I want to shout out Mark at Suddenly Comics. He's got quite the interesting collection. I love his Bronze Age horror videos and such. So he's very knowledgeable, especially on British books too, which comes in handy for a guy like me who knows nothing about them. So I like to shout him out. I also would like to shout out Dead Man because Dead Man is a friend of the channel and he's a very positive person, and I like his videos too. You should give him a check out at Dead Man Comics. He does a lot of haul videos, and I really like watching those. But the biggest one I want to shout out, he's a big fan of the channel. I'm a big fan of his channel. Is the Gray Man. Yes, he knows who he is. The Gray Man. You guys need to check him out. He's got one of the funniest intro songs that I've seen on a YouTube video. But and he just has I love when he says things like "Have a great-tastic day," things like that. He also has great content on his videos. He's pretty good. So if you haven't already, give the Gray Man a check out. Now, today's video, how many of you are fans of EC Comics? Whether it's Tales from the Crypt, whether it's weird fantasy, Vault of Horror, etc., Frontline Combat. If you are a fan of EC, then you may be happy to find out that Omni Press has licensed the EC name and is now issuing books under that thing. Now, the small problem, which I've heard a couple people complain about, is that Omni doesn't use the old titles like Crypt of Terror Tales from the Crypt, and all those other ones. But the reason is that the Gaines estate still owns the rights to EC Comics and all its titles, and they refused to license the names of the titles. They only license the name of the company. So Omni is forced to come up with their own names for the books. Which leads us to today's series that we're going to cover. Epitaphs from the Abyss. This is the first issue. This is the fancy cover. Okay? I'm using this as an example. Look, they've used the same format. They've got the terror on the side. They've got the cover image at the bottom, and they've got the big area where they put the name of the comic, and of course the EC logo. So they are doing their best. And on the inside, they use the font. They use the style in terms of setting out the pages, and they have also created some characters which we'll talk about later. So this is Epitaphs God, Matt. Epitaphs of the Abyss 1. I'm sorry, I sort of had a moment there. Okay, in this issue, it's a little bigger than the other regular issues. It has 4 little stories done in the EC format. All the covers that I'm going to show you is done by a person by the name of Lee Bermejo. I'm sure it's they are all done, as I said, in the EC style. However, he doesn't do any interior art that I was able to see. So, and I'd like to point out there are various artists and various writers for every issue, just like the real EC. And they do get credits in the book in the beginning. But they're so numerous, I'm not going to mention them all by name. I want you to get the books and look at them yourself. In this issue, we have 4 stories. The first one is called Killer Speck, which is a story of a warning for anybody that gets packaged in the Hollywood style. The next story is called Senator, which is dread on the steps of the Capitol. Family Values is the third story, where a suburban family goes to pieces, literally. And then the last story is called Us versus Us, and basically it's a flame to the last thread of humanity. Next up, we have Epitaphs from the Abyss #2. This one only has 3 stories to it. Well, the first one is called Pattern Recognition, where a ruthless hooligan hits the nail on the head and others. The next one is called Gray-Green Memories. A mother forgets her shopping list and she forgets her self-identity. And the last one is called Sounds and... Oh God, I can't read my writing. Sounds and I want to say Heights, a hospital so exclusive you may have to give a hand for yourself. I don't know why I'm so bad at writing. It must be the legal teaching I got. Anyway, here is Epitaphs from the Abyss #3. It's a darker, very black cover. And in this issue are 3 stories. The first one's called A Hand for It, and the tag is Who Says Romance is Dead? The second one is called Blood Type, and the tag says a world traveler with a special seasickness. And A Crossroads Repetition is the third story, which is about a deal with the devil. What I liked about this one, The Deal with the Devil, is that they reference the Robert Johnson myth and legend. And for those that don't know, Robert Johnson was a musician who died at the age of 27 back in the 30s. He's considered to be the founding guitarist for blues and the biggest influence on players like Eric Clapton. So the story was that he met the devil at the crossroads and he traded his soul for his guitar playing. So Robert Johnson is a great urban legend, whether there's truth to it or not. He died young, so a lot of people believe it. In fact, they consider him the first member of the 27 Club. If you're a rock fan, you know what I'm talking about. Next up, we have Epitaphs from the Abyss, issue 4. In this one, you get 3 stories the first one's called Dead from Exposure, which is just a little morsel about monster hunters. The next one is called The Perfect Pearl, where a husband offers his bride the gift that keeps on taking. It's actually the best story of the bunch. This one is really good. Under the Influence, an online guru sinks his teeth with a new grind. And what I liked about the Under the Influence is they have a character in there that they drew to look exactly like Wayne Knight. And if you don't know who Wayne Knight is, watch Jurassic Park or Seinfeld. And the last issue, which is the current issue that I have, and I know it's the current issue because it came out this week, the week I recorded, is Epitaphs from the Abyss #5. The first story is called Forever Home, which is a widower's case of buyer's beware. Some things you love Some Things You Give Away is the next story, which involves a rebirth of some sort. And then All New You is the last story, in which has the tagline, "Not just the past comes back to haunt you, your conscience." Now, there is three other titles to this EC thing that they're doing. One is called Cruel Universe, which came out in August and is probably at issue 2 or 3. I'm not sure when 3 is coming out because I didn't quite, or could be even at issue 4. This is November. And coming in December, they're going to have Shiver Suspense Stories. And in January, they're adding a fourth title called Cruel Kingdoms. Now, I will say this about the Epitaphs, the Epitaphs book. Book 1 was kind of, but with each issue, you can tell that they're getting more comfortable with the style. And by issue 4 and 5 are fantastic. I really like them. So they're picking up the quality as they go, as they're getting more comfortable with with the the stuff that they're doing for these books. They've also created 3 of their own EC characters since they can't use the Crypt Keeper, etc. They are called the Gravedigger, who is the host of this book, the Tormentor, and the Grim Inquisitor. Now, they all look like they're like the 3 hosts from the old series, and they're used in the very same way, but having unique characteristics is a good thing for them. They are able to stay within their bounds. Overall, I think this is going to be a success. Not huge in the sense that it's going to be the best selling books out there, but I think it'll last enough to last 4 or 5 years, hopefully, maybe even for longer than that, because the quality of the books are getting better, and it's a style that the style itself is classic. As we all know, as old DC fans, everything. Any flat any reproduction needs to at least be attempting to be the EC brand, and this has been a decent run at it. Anyway, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Please comment, especially if you're a big fan of the old EC. And if you've read these books and what you think about them. It's okay if you don't like them. We all have different opinions about things. And that is the beauty of being a comic book fan. You can hate a particular comic, but still be a fan of the genre, of the medium anyway. So I hope everybody's enjoyed this video. So my name is Matt, and I like comics. And I hope you do too.